Are we recording? Oh, yes, we're recording. I can see
We
it.
are recording. You're recording.
I'm recording. Yeah. So, how do we start here? So, I suppose I introduce myself. Hello, this is Alex Ko, and today we have a very, very interesting, very world-class professional on the show, and his name is Scott Macdonald. He's also a dear friend, a close friend of mine, who is very, very nice enough to come on my very first episode of this interview. And Scott is known as one of Hoff's direct student. The man, he's met the legend before, and he is creating waves in Australia, Germany, France, everywhere. He's basically dumping people in the bathtub and showing the way how they can demonstrate the breed. I need to study this, breathing. Yeah, the breathing methods that could help your negative and positive. Is it acid and alkali that you need to balance? Yeah.
Yeah,
I need
acid and alkali. Yeah.
acid and alkali balance, and I'm sure Scott, you've I myself have got gout, and you've told me this many times that I should join your ice bath party and cold showers to get my health back into shape. So without further ado, Scott, do you want to introduce yourself and tell us more about you?
Yeah. Hi, Alex. Thanks very much for having me on your show, on your podcast. A great honor to be guest number one as well. That's amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. No problem.
This podcast is going to be big, I'm sure. So it's pretty special. Pretty special being number one. Awesome. Thank you very much for this invitation.
No, thanks to you. Yeah. So Scott, really, man, you need to tell us about your work, your awesome work that I've been following you on Facebook and LinkedIn. You've been meeting different people. You've been meeting national team. You've been changing lives, making a difference in people's lives in health, mental, and the flow of chi. So do you want to give the audience a bit about what you actually do?
Yeah, so I'm a breathwork coach. I teach people how to breathe, basically. Yeah. And it's a pretty special thing. Everybody can breathe, but not everybody breathes properly. Pretty much everybody can learn how to breathe properly, learn how to breathe better. And if you do that, if you start breathing better, everything gets better.
Yeah.
It's the most important thing in life is for us as individuals is to breathe. So the better we do it, the better life is. It's as easy as that, really.
Yeah. And is it only for adults or children or people healthy? And where does it start from? Where does it end?
It starts first inhale. You're born and you inhale, you take a breath in, and you exhale and you die. Yeah, 120 years later. And then
True.
every moment in between, you're breathing. I'm breathing. We're all breathing. We're not doing anything if we're not breathing. It's like, I'm around a lot of fit people, a lot of healthy people, a lot of successful people, and these people, many people, they put a lot of effort into what they eat, how they sleep, getting enough sport in, getting enough rest, all this kind of things, and it's fantastic, and these things are all important. They absolutely are, but hardly anybody's paying any attention to how they breathe. And I say it all the time, breathing's the most important thing. And sometimes no, it's not. No, eating well is more important. Sleeping well is more important. Sport's more important. Family time is more important. Yeah. Well, okay, good. These things they're important. They're all amazingly important. But let's say you didn't do any sport. You didn't move. Astronauts, how long do they spend in space without moving? 6 months, a year, whatever. And they're okay.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit of rehab, but they'll be okay. Some people spend their whole life sitting on the sofa watching Netflix.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then but they're fine. They're okay. Okay, they won't live as long. Eventually, they'll get problems. What you eat? How long can you go without food? 3 weeks or something crazy like that.
Is it 3 weeks? I think it'll last 2 days.
Yeah, it's not going to be the easiest 3 weeks of your life, but we've got 3 weeks before you die. And drink, you go like 3-4 days without water before you die. Yeah. How long will you go without breathing?
3 minutes?
Yeah,
before your brain seizes
probably. Yeah. Probably 3 minutes, not very long, huh? So that's kind of like that puts everything into relation for me. Yeah, you can go ages without all these other things, but you can't go any time without breathing. So okay, good. If breathing's that powerful, if I die, if I don't do it for 3 minutes, if it's the first thing I ever do and it's the last thing I ever do, what about if I practiced it? What about if I did it better? What if I manipulated the power of breath to my advantage?
Yeah.
And it doesn't take half an hour with me, and you'll be like, oh my, you'll be
Yeah.
amazed.
Jeez. I just want to jump on the plane and get to the course now, you know?
You should, yeah, get over here, man. It's not expensive to fly. I used to fly over to Scotland all the time.
Yeah, it's true. Need to start meeting again.
Yeah.
But Scott, but the big thing is, you know, you were a very successful person in the oil and gas in the North Sea, and now you're doing something entirely different that I suppose most of your peers or people you work with do not expect that you'd be doing just now, and you're very successful as well. I'm not surprised you're successful. You've spoken to me since day one that you wanted to do something different. But how does it feel going from the comfort zone that you're in and then moving into the fear zone, which I would say 1 out of every 100 people will actually do, and you're that 1 out of 100 people, or the 1 out of 1,000 people actually do?
It feels good, you know. I think to get anywhere, to achieve big things, you've got to make bold moves. You've got to make brave decisions. Yeah, the life will reward bold decisions, brave actions. No, I mean, I loved working offshore for a lot of years. The camaraderie was great. I met loads of lovely people such as yourself, people who I've made really great, strong friendships with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's no reward really, is there? Okay, there's the financial reward, but you're sitting there, you're just a cog in the machine. Good, people need gas to heat their houses. People need oil to run their cars. Yeah, but it's not like you see a car driving down the road and you think, "Wow, thanks to me, that guy's got petrol in his car." Yeah, you don't give yourself a slap on the shoulder.
Satisfaction.
Think, oh man, yeah, I'm the man. Or you walk into somebody's house and think, oh, it's nice and cozy and warm in here. I played my part there. Yes, I rock.
Yeah.
There's none of that, is there? There's no satisfaction. It's
no.
And it suited my lifestyle, like for a really good time, and for a long time when the kids were little and they were at home. So I was away for a couple of weeks at a time, and then I was at home for 3 weeks at a time. So the time I was at home, I was getting real quality time with the kids. Like I was doing stuff that normal dads don't have the time to do. So that was spectacular. That was the nicest thing about working offshore.
It's a time off. Yeah.
But,
I'm curious to know, Scott, when you were in a comfort zone, but you knew that you need to jump over the fence. You were there, you're comfortable, good paying job, but then you see the other side, the success, but in between there's a fear zone. How does it feel standing before the jump, before you falling off the cliff? Well, what made that decision to take the first step? Can you just bring us in a bit?
It was it was more the fear of the fear zone, the fear of the fear. Basically, it's to put the whole thing in context so that the guys listening here know what happened. It was 2016. It was back when we were making people redundant offshore. The whole way that all happened was really, really, it was terrible. Yeah, it was inhumane. People were losing their jobs in a really bad manner.
Yeah.
And it was dangerous. The things that were happening offshore, because the morale was so down, was dangerous. It was dangerous. People were at risk.
Yeah.
And then we had to pay 14 people off. And the decision for the numbers was made by people above me. But the actual people who had to go, I was one of the decisions maker about the people. So it wasn't just names and numbers there. These were colleagues and friends of mine.
Must be
people who I'd known for years, and I'd been, they're like a second family, and all of a sudden it's 14 of them have to go.
Yeah.
Okay, shit, that's life. Life happens. But then the bad thing was these people, like before the oil companies would send a helicopter offshore, somebody would come and say, right, sorry, you're getting made redundant. pack your things. The helicopter's leaving in half an hour. Back in 2016, when we had to do it, it was completely different. I mean, the greed, it's absolutely disgusting when I think about it. These guys, young guys with families, guys like ourselves, were getting pulled into the office and getting told they were made redundant, but on the other hand, saying you have to go offshore now. You have to go and jump in the helicopter and work your last trip, or you're not getting your last wage. So these guys with wives and kids at home who have been on the edge of their seats because they've kind of suspected that they might be the ones, the unlucky ones. So they've been worried for months anyway. Get the news, and they can't go home and cuddle their wives and say, "Oh, darling, I'm really sorry. I haven't got a job, but it'll be okay." They're sent straight offshore, and they've got to phone home and say, "Darling, I'm really sorry, but I've lost my job, but it'll be okay." And they've got to spend 2 weeks away from their families, and it's absolutely disgusting. It's just absolutely disgusting. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, probably people, I don't know how those guys got on after that, but I mean, 2 weeks offshore in such situations, the longest 2 weeks of your life. The wives, I couldn't imagine the fights that those families were having, or those couples were having. And probably people ended up having divorces. Absolutely shocking.
Yeah.
So anyway, that kind of, you can tell I get a bit irate. It kind of affects me now when I think about it. But at the time, it really, it basically put me in a burnout. So I mean, I didn't even know myself. I was a team leader at the time. I knew that position was getting made redundant as well. I didn't even know if I was getting my own. I was making these decisions and didn't even know if I was going to have a job myself. We did the dirty deed, and then I didn't make it back offshore for my next trip. Basically, I suppose it took me a while to realise it, but I was in a burnout. The thing that stopped me going back offshore and put me off work for 4 months was a sport injury. I hurt myself doing sport, doing judo, and my back just went. But the more I tell this story, the more I realise it was a sport accident, but it happened because I was basically in a burnout. My body was just saying, right, enough's enough, Scotty boy. My body, my mind was just like, let's just take ourselves out of this system for a little while. and then I was in really bad shape. Yeah. So my back was in a real mess. Yeah. It was 7 discs were herniated and all sorts.
Oh yes, I remember. Yeah.
7. So it was 4 in my neck, 1 in my chest, and 2 down in my lower back.
I can feel the goosebumps when you're telling me.
Yeah. So what I was doing, I had really good doctors. I had really good health insurance at the time. So I was getting the best treatment, fanciest stuff available. Yeah. Nothing helped. Yeah. And it was eventually the doctor, who's a really high-level doctor. He's the doctor of Dominic Thiem, the number 4 ranked tennis player in the world.
Oh, yes.
He said to me, okay, Scotty boy, I'm afraid there's nothing more I can do here. Yeah. I haven't got any more answers. And he gave me a referral for a neurosurgeon. So it was like, oh, man, a neurosurgeon. Man, what's he going to do? He's going to cut me open and start fiddling about. Yeah. It's like, so where does he start? There's these 7 discs. Which discs is really giving me the most grief? Which is causing me the problems here?
No, you told to pick and choose, eh?
I was thinking, I just had this picture in my head going to this doctor, and the doctor then going, put lime on the table, and then going, eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
The guys don't even know.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, so today I think we'll just do 2, and then if that doesn't work, maybe the next time we'll do 1. Maybe we'll do 3 next time. We'll see.
Oh, God.
Awful, it was awful.
No.
So I was putting off going. Well, I never made an appointment. The health system's completely different here. I mean, you're responsible for making your own appointments with specialists, and you've got a lot more control. You can choose the doctors, and you don't need to wait years, and it's much better over here that way. Anyway, I didn't make the appointment. But during this time, the only thing that was giving me any kind of relief this whole time was yoga.
Yeah.
I was doing yoga online.
Really?
yeah. Really good site. Yoga for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Really?
Sport specific. It wasn't helping a lot, but it was taking the pressure off a wee bit, so it was kind of helping a little bit.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so it was nice. Nice-ish. But anyway, there was a video, a breathing video, about pranayama, the yogic breathing techniques.
Okay.
So I was watching that, and the guy starts speaking about Wim Hof, and he's telling this story about Wim Hof. Wim Hof, you see on the t-shirt here.
Yep. Ice party.
Yeah, ice party in Bratislava. So started speaking about Wim Hof and these feats. Like Wim Hof, he ran a marathon in Lapland only in a pair of shorts.
I know.
If that wasn't enough, he ran a half marathon in Lapland only in shorts, but this time without shoes, so bare feet. I mean, Lapland's cold. Have you ever been to Lapland?
No, we're running bare feet. I spent hundreds of pounds just to protect my feet, and this man's running barefoot on ice.
Yeah, in Lapland. I mean, that's where Santa Claus comes from, man. It's freezing. It's freezing up there. It's freezing up there.
Oh my goodness.
And then he climbed Everest, also only in a pair of shorts, without any extra oxygen.
What, he climbed Everest? I didn't.
Everest.
Yeah.
He didn't make it quite to the top. He got to over 7,000 meters though, so he was in the death zone. And he was wearing shoes this time, but I think it was maybe even only sandals.
Yeah.
So that was the stories. I was hearing these stories, and I was like, oh wow, this guy sounds amazing. And then the guy in the video showed the breathing technique. He didn't impress me with the breathing technique. He showed it completely wrong. But the legend of Wim Hof. I mean, the name sounded Chinese for me. You know, like I'm like grew up watching Hong Kong movies.
Yeah, I know. We had a conversation about that. Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, oh great, I can't. This guy, he's maybe like Yip Man or something like that. I bet he was really good at kung fu as well. And yeah, we'll see. And so I googled him, and I was expecting to see this Chinese guy that lived in the 1800s or something, and then see Wim Hof, this crazy Dutch guy running up Everest, and he's short. And it was all on video, and it was like, oh man, that is crazy. So eventually, in a short period of time, I fell across or came across his mini course. There's a free mini course that you can do, a 3-part mini course, still available. I think it's an updated one now, so it's not the same course that I did. I don't actually know what's on it now, but there's still a 3-part mini course. I should really check that out before as an instructor recommending it. Never mind. Anyway, so part 1 was the breathing exercise. It was fantastic. Part 2 was another breathing exercise, but a little bit different. I can't believe what I just did. It's just like, that's not humanly possible what I just did. Yeah. And then I stood up. I was in the garden at the time, and then I stood up, and I was like, oh wow, so much color in my garden, all this green, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah. It was like an epiphany. It's such an amazing moment, and I'm like looking around. I'm like, whoa! I can move my head. I haven't moved my neck properly since 2012, since that guy at the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament threw me. And then I was like, oh man, and my back. I can move my back. All the tension in my back was just going instantly.
And this is all just from breathing.
Yeah, 3 minutes. Yeah. This was one exercise that took 3 minutes, and it was it was wow, it was a game changer, completely a game changer.
Wow. I need to try it soon. I remember you telling me that when we were still working. And okay, sorry, I did laugh a bit, but hearing it again, I think I do want to try it. And I'm getting at the age as well. Your body's falling apart. Just busy up and down. Your body's falling apart, and then you're not there to be in the gym for like 3 hours a day. Yeah, we need to look at yes, I need to look at your Wim Hof breathing techniques. I need to get myself sorted. I'm convinced that.
Just get it done. Just get it done.
Just get it done, man. Just get it done.
Just do it. Just do it.
Stop talking. Exactly. Yeah. Good stuff.
Screw it. Let's do it.
Yeah. And so you've met Wim Hof. I've seen photos. He knows you by person. He's also a personal friend of yours now. He's not just a student, a teacher, but he's a personal friend. So tell us about Wim Hof, how you met the man, the legend. How do you take the step from, oh, I like this guy. Oh, I met this guy. Oh, he's my friend, How?
It's
Networking, your
quite
networking skills. Show it off, my friend.
my networking skills. Well, it was quite funny. First time I met Wim was it was only 2 years ago. It seems like it must have been 15 years ago. Seems like I've known him forever. But it was 2016, just April 2016.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
basically, no, 17, sorry, 17. So 2 years ago. And we were in Scotland for the Easter holidays,
okay,
the whole family, and he was in Edinburgh at the time. And I bought a ticket, and I actually wanted Bella, my wife, to go.
okay.
And she was like, I'm not going. That's your thing. You go. Because
Yeah.
I'd actually already booked to go to his house for the first instructor's course.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, like a month later. So I was like, I'll send Bella, and she'll get to meet Wim and see Wim, and it'll be cool, and she'll really be into it too. But anyway, I went to Edinburgh, and it was in a yoga studio, Union Yoga, I believe it was in
Okay.
Edinburgh. Really nice studio. Went in there, and I couldn't believe how many shoes were there. I was like, oh man, there's lots of people here. And then went up, and it was this big yoga room, and there was about 60 people in there.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa. For me at the time, that was like, wow, there's a lot of people. I wasn't expecting this many people.
Yeah.
No, I'm like, oh wow, there were only 60 people. Holy moly, because like the events, there were 800 people in London this year. It's big now. Anyway, so I went in, and Wim was already there, and he was just sitting there, just chilled out as can be, and telling stories and stuff. And I was like, oh man, this guy's cool, because I was expecting him to come in like bang on time, just do the program, and then leave. But no, he was already there, and he was just telling stories, and it was like really cool, and everybody was like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
So that was my first impression of Wim in the flesh. But then this is when it was really cool, and it was like really special. It was, we had a break in the middle, and then there was a downstairs part. It was the hot yoga studio, and that was where the buffet was. So it was all like really healthy vegan food, and I was starving, so I was like the first person in there. You know, you got to be first.
Like the good old days when offshore, where you and me would be fighting over the chicken wings.
Exactly. Same idea. Anyway, so I got my stuff, had some really nice people and stuff. Then I went to the back of the room to put my bag. So I put my bag. I just kind of stopped, and it was like, oh, this is a really nice spot just to kind of soak in the atmosphere, do a little bit of people watching. Yeah. And then Wim came in, and he grabbed something to eat, and he was like, hey man, how, just kind of like small talk and stuff. And then he like came over to me and sat down on the emergency exit like doorstep next to where I was standing. Yeah. And he goes, and it was just like, hey, and then I started small talk, and I was like, hi Wim, what do you think of Edinburgh? And I was like, oh man, why did I say such a stupid question? And he was like, well, I just arrived like last night, and then we've been here this morning, so I haven't really seen anything. I was like, obviously, what an idiot asking a stupid question like that. But anyway, I don't know what happened, but we're like talking and stuff, and I told him that I was going to his house the month after and to do the instructor's course.
Yes, you're going to his house, yeah.
And then I told him that I was doing Wim Hof method classes offshore every night. Yes. And that was like in April, I said April, and I'd been doing classes. I don't know, Andy Wood was my first guinea pig. Big Andy.
Yeah, he lost lots of weight, Andy.
Yeah. It's just like, I don't know if he was already in his big fitness regime then. I think he already was. But anyway, he was like, I was speaking to him. He was offshore for a day trip. I was like, come on, Andy, let's go and try this. I think he got stuck on overnight. I think he did. I think he wasn't even planning on staying, but I think he got stuck. Yeah. So I introduced Andy to the Wim Hof method. And that was where this whole journey the instructor part, the teacher started with Andy. But anyway, I told Wim that I had a class offshore, and he jumped up and he hugged me. He goes, "Oh man, that's amazing, that's great, you're already a teacher." And gave me a hug and
All
stuff.
natural. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was, and then we ended up speaking. The course, the workshop was supposed to start again at 2:45 or 2:45, whatever, 2:45 or, and then half an hour later, well, I mean, it must have been probably 1:30, maybe we started, I don't know. But anyway, at 1:15 the hour, like half an hour after the workshop was supposed to start again, I was like, Wim, I think we should maybe go upstairs again.
Yeah, you forgot about your course that you're supposed to be.
And it was so it was like, yeah, so it was just really, it was just like connected.
Yeah.
Just like really connected, and that was amazing. And then there was an instructor there, and we were speaking about the course, and he asked me where I was staying, and then he was like, I'll give you a top secret tip. Just stay at his house. I was like, what? Yeah, just stay at his house. A couple of us did that last time. It's the best, man. Everybody else goes away to their hotels and stuff like that, and just stay at your house. And that's basically what I did. I was just like, I just stayed at his house. So there was just a few of us, like there was maybe 50 people on the course, and maybe like half they stayed at his house, and yeah. So that was pretty amazing as well. So yeah, that was just kind of like how it started, getting really like connected. And then this year in Munich, I was basically his bodyguard in Munich. That was a big event there. So I was chaperoning him there, like trying to fend off the selfie takers.
I've seen a picture on your Facebook. Yeah.
So that was wicked.
But I think as a person listening, also as a friend to you, I think it's not Wim Hof connecting with you. It's also your personality and your person that's always open to new people. I think that's you. You need to give yourself credit. If it wasn't for you and your personality, I don't think Wim Hof would come and give you a hug and make friends and get invited over. I think it's you. I think you need to give yourself some credit for it, Yeah, I know Wim Hof's a nice man. I can hear it. He's a nice man from you, but you need to give yourself some good credit. It's you as well, If it wasn't for you, it wouldn't be a good mate. Give yourself some.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Thanks. Nice compliment, Alex.
Yeah, and I like your story, man. You're good storyteller. It's great. It's great to listen from the man himself, yourself, But the thing is, for my listeners, mostly family people, I mean, you've shown this journey where you were in the comfort zone, but you call it the fear zone. We shouldn't view it as a comfort zone. It's actually the fear zone. And you move out of your comfort zone and do something you actually like, your passion. And you found your passion not 20 years ago, not 10 years ago. You actually found your passion a few years ago, You found it. I don't think many people have found it. So are there any 3 takeaway positive key points for our listeners? What they can do to find that passion, like how.
Yeah.
I don't think you found it by accident. So, you were looking for something. I'm sure you're looking for that something. It was a law of attraction. We all know about the law of attraction. You need to think of something to be attracted to something. What is that 3 key points that you can share with us?
Well, I mean, the thing that changed it for me was actually in 2014. I was working with a coach, Leo Frinku is his name, a Romanian guy, wrestling world champion. He lives in Los Angeles, and he's the mental coach of Ronda Rousey.
Oh yes, Ronda Rousey. Yes.
So I was working with him, doing online coaching sessions with him.
Right.
He was my coach. And one of his questions was, what's your big dream? What do you want to do with your life? And stuff? And I told him, ridiculous. I says, I want to be the OIM.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's a good aim and all that. But anyway, I don't want to be the OIM. I really like I'm in this oil and gas industry, and I'm like, okay, I'm doing the team leader's job, and what's the next step? It's got to be the OIM, and I'll be the king of the platform. But then, so I said that, and then afterwards I was thinking,
yeah,
nope, I'm not interested in being the OIM. It's like, is that my big dream, really? Anyway, next week I said to him, I said, Leo, I've got to come clean. I says, that is not my big dream. He's like, okay, what's your big dream? And I says, I want to have a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym.
Okay.
And
Okay.
he's like, okay, great. Go and open a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym. I said, I'm not ready to open it yet. I don't have the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills to do that. And he's like, when will you have them? I was like, it'll probably take me about 10 years, because it takes a long time to learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu properly. I'm a blue belt, so I need a while. And he's like, yeah, 10 years is going to come. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I'm a blue belt too. Yeah, it sounds about right. So what's going to hold you up from that? And it's like, oh, well, I can't do it. He's like, why? And I'm like, oh, well, because that's like my big dream. And how could I ever actually open my own gym? And he said, Scott, has anybody else on the planet ever opened a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym? And I was like, yeah, loads of people. And he's like, so why can't you do it? And I was like, oh, yeah, actually. So that was the key. And he said, the reason why, the thing that's stopping you opening a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym is it's your biggest dream. It's everything for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the top of the mountain, so it's like such a special thing for you that you're making it unattainable.
It's you.
Yeah, he's like, in your head, it's the greatest achievement possible, and you don't think you're worthy of that. And he's like, but Scott, it's not that big a deal. Loads of other people have done it. You want to open a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school? You want to do it in 10 years? Do it. And that was it, man. That conversation changed my life. It was just like, oh man, and just everything started falling into place. I started meeting all these amazing people, and all sorts of really cool stuff started happening. And then so that was it. So the question about the fear factor and stuff is just to have faith in yourself. Just don't think things aren't reachable just because nobody on Coronation Street or nobody on East End, or just because all this soap operas and stuff, they're just made to keep people down, man. It's not real life. That's not real life. They want us to think that's real life, but it's not. If we've got dreams, the comfort zone. I mean, but I was actually, the thing that made me take the jump. Sorry, you want to say something, Alex?
No, I think it froze a bit because we're using Skype here. I think it froze for like 3 seconds there, so I think I missed the last bit. But tell us the thing that made you make the jump.
Yeah. So the moment, the reason I quit my job and just suddenly jumped on a helicopter, which is what I did. I didn't like.
Literally, you did jump off the helicopter and quit. Yes, literally. You did.
I had a week left of my trip, and it was 5:00 in the afternoon. The chopper was going to arrive in an hour's time, and I was just like, okay, now I'm going on it. So it was quite a really, really nice feeling, you know. So it was a bold move. It was like, onshore, you know, the thing, everybody was always like, I'm rapping. It was like the running joke when anybody was annoyed, had enough, whatever. I'm rapping. It was often just said in jest, but it was kind of good to say, I'm rapping, and then just get on the chopper. So that was cool. But I did that because I had 6 months left to do my whole Wim Hof method instructor training. So this was in June.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to be finished the training until December. Yeah. So in January, I was going to be leaving and making myself become a professional Wim Hof method instructor. But then it was in June. So 6 months before that time, I was like, oh man, what if January comes and I'm not brave enough to do it? What if January comes and I'm like, oh no, I'll maybe just do a little bit longer here on the platform, and oh man, I got scared, and that was it. So it was a jump into the unknown. So it's definitely the comfort zone. I encourage everybody to leave the comfort zone all the time. I've left my comfort zone in a big way twice in the past few days already.
Yep.
You just need to think of things that you're really uncomfortable doing or you don't want to do. If there's things that you don't want to do, why not? Okay,
Yeah.
some things might be stinky and smelly. Good, don't do those things. But if the reason you're not going to do stuff is because you're scared, then
Yeah.
that's exactly the reason why you should do it. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
on Sunday. Yeah, I was asked to referee my son's football game. I was like,
Yep.
no, I'm not doing it because I coach the kids. I do all sorts of stuff, but I'm
Yep.
not refereeing. And then I thought, no, I'm just being a sissy here. If I'm uncomfortable, I'm not doing it because I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the reason why I should do it. And I did it. And it was all right. It wasn't the most fun I ever had.
You just have to do it. In life,
yeah.
you just have to try. If you never try, you never know whether you did good or bad. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the thing about finding your passion. I mean, there's very few people who arrive in the world and their passion's sitting there for them. Here's your passion. Go and have fun with it.
Yeah.
You've got to try things. You've got to, you just got to try things, and maybe there's something that you'll think, that's. You might even not realize that you think, oh, that's nice, but you just take the next step, and then you just take the next step. And like when I was doing that conversation with Andy, I just had this strong urge to introduce Andy to the Wim Hof method, and I did, and he was game for it. That's the thing. He was good, and then it was like the evening yoga class we had offshore became a Wim Hof method class.
Yeah.
And then I was introducing everybody to Wim Hof method, even
Really?
Brian Gash. Brian
Yeah.
Gash. I got Brian Gash introduced to the Wim Hof method. So I was just like, yeah, man, this stuff's good, and everybody needs to try it.
And you're naturally good at it, and you were just giving your best shot. Wow. It's funny when you're talking about passion, about not fearing, just go and do it. You and me, we're parents, yeah. This is what we say to our kids every single day. We're trying to push our kid to try your best, be your best. Don't fear the class, don't fear the teacher. Go in, be your best. And sometimes when we're adults, we go back to our natural, baby state again, fearing the fear,
Mm-hmm.
When you say it there, I was just hearing myself saying it to my kids maybe a couple hours ago. Quite strange, yeah.
And it's exactly, and it's one thing. It's another thing actually leading by example, because it's what you're doing.
Exactly.
We're role models, yeah.
Yeah.
It's what we do, how we act, how we behave. That's what is going to influence our kids, not the words. It's easy to say stuff.
Yeah, it's easy to say. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Stop eating chocolate. Like if I'm telling my kids, stop eating so much chocolate. It's a ridiculous thing to say. They're just gonna say, Dad, you're eating chocolate all the time. So if I want my kids to eat less chocolate, then I should probably eat less chocolate myself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Stop eating stop eating full breakfast. Yeah, you have to stop eating sausages yourself. Yeah. I know. So, but Scott, we've been talking so long. You've never told us about your program, your work, your upcoming events and programs. Do you want to tell the viewers? I'm sure you've grabbed the viewers already, the listeners. So tell us about the stuff, your project, how to get involved, how to join your course. Tell us about it. Sell yourself, my friend.
Yeah. So the easiest thing is to look at my website, www.flow2.life. I've got my courses on there. So I do lots of workshops all over the place, mostly in this kind of area. So
venues, is it where you stay in Australia?
So we're speaking about the German, Austria, Switzerland,
Austria,
Czech Republic. But like next Tuesday I'm in Munich. I'm doing a talk in Munich. It's going to be really exciting.
What's the date?
I've got
what
the
date?
23rd of April.
23rd of April 2019. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. And then the weekend after that, I've got an event in Graz. I've got an event in Wiener Neustadt, which is basically the town where I live. And then the weekend after that, I've got 2 events in Prague. Prague's Czech Republic. Yeah. So get around a bit.
Yes. So get on the webpage. I'll drop it on the link below on the podcast and on my website. So, if you guys missed that, you can actually go click on it. And
And Austria is an amazing part of the world. By the way, it's beautiful here. It's beautiful, and people should come. So come to Austria, do a workshop with me, do a weekend retreat with me. I do some really exciting retreats as well, really
yes,
unusual
yes.
retreats as well. Things that nobody else is doing. I planned 2 retreats today that are just mind blowing. The things that we'll be doing are just mind blowing. And these are things that aren't actually anything to do with the Wim Hof method at all. It's completely different direction, but it's like, yeah, unique, very unique.
I know. We need to bring it to Asia, man. Bring it back to Brunei, Malaysia, where I'm from. Let's do the Wim Hof in a
Yeah,
hot country. Let's
yeah,
do it.
let's do it. Why not?
Why
Why not?
not?
I was in Dubai. Dubai's only 5 hours away from here. It's
Yeah,
not far.
yeah,
Don't know how far Malaysia is, but it's probably less than a day.
yeah, yeah. Good, good.
Yeah, we don't need to walk there.
And the thing is, Kit, what social media platform are you on? Is it Twitter, Instagram? Tell us. The viewers might want to follow you now. Where's the best to get to you?
Facebook and active on them. So both of those, I'm at flow2.life.
So flow to the number 2, FLO
Yeah.
number 2 dot life, LIFE.
FLOW. FLOW.
Oh, FLOW.
Yeah.
Number 2 dot life. Good stuff. So Facebook
Yeah.
is the place that you use the
Facebook.
most. Yes.
Yeah. Instagram. I post stuff on stories as well.
Yeah. Facebook. I'm a big Facebook man myself. So
You are or you're not?
I am a big Facebook. I think Facebook, Quora. Yeah, that's me. You know.
Yeah, I've never
Old
used
school.
Quora. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're on LinkedIn a lot.
I'm
as well.
LinkedIn. Yeah, LinkedIn is where I am. You know, I wish it could be everywhere. If I did full time, I'll be everywhere.
I need to start using LinkedIn. I've got.
Yes, LinkedIn's a good place, people. And yeah, I know I've taken lots of your time, but I really want to ask you the last question, Scott. I would, we've seen your success. You're doing really, really well. And how do you see yourself in 5 years? I want you to show us your visualization in 5 years. Of what is that you want to achieve? We talk about 20 years, 30 years, but it's too far. What is that you really, really want to achieve in 5 years yourself? Can you just share? Do you mind sharing it with us and telling myself and the listeners?
So I want to. There's 2 things. There's kind of two things I'm kind of working towards, and one of them is becoming Donald Trump's breathwork coach. You know Donald Trump, he's the president of America.
You're not joking. Donald Trump's okay. Yeah, why not? Think big, go crazy, like Nike says. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good. I mean, like if he does breathwork with me, his golf handicap's going to get better.
True.
If Donald Trump's golf handicap's better, then he's happy. If he's happy, it's good for us all.
Yeah. Do you think Tiger Woods would benefit from your?
Yeah, man, I was gutted. Tiger Woods is actually on my list.
Yeah.
But he won the Masters the other day. I was like, missed that boat. But let's see, French Open.
Oh yes. What about the French Open? Tell me about it.
I don't want to say too much just now, but let's just wait and see what happens there.
Okay.
Let's just wait and see what happens there. Could be some cool Instagram photos there.
Oh, and, right. Instagram. French Open 2019, guys. Watch out for Scott Macdonald's page. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was the What was the second one that you were saying that?
Yeah, it's basically I want to. Yeah, I don't know. Change. Yeah, basically I want. It's education. So the education system get taught in school are completely irrelevant to life. I believe there's too much nonsense. There's not enough. Like you did a post today, in fact, on Facebook about money, about teaching your kids. How much of that were you taught in school? How much? I wasn't taught any of it in school. And one of the most important skills that you need in life is to be able to deal with money, handle money.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's never touched.
Nope.
But how much irrelevant nonsense are we taught? I mean, I got never mind. So anyway, I want to make a change in the school system there. I mean, and I've done things already. And the other thing is on the same frame is to build schools in less fortunate parts of the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to get started with that. And I actually met somebody on Saturday who has the same dream and is actually let's say 10 years ahead of me, and he's actually got a place here in Austria, and he's got a place called Dreamicon Valley here in Austria, and they've got 3 places abroad. In Ghana, they've got a place for young entrepreneurs in Ghana called Dreamyville, and they are teaching young unemployed people from Ghana entrepreneurial skills to offer them a good life, and it's amazing what they're doing. So it's really cool to meet people who are already doing what I want to do, because who better to get tips from than somebody who's already, and it also makes it all realistic. It's like the 4-minute mile. You can't run the 4-minute mile if nobody's ever, or nobody could run the 4-minute mile before Roger Bannister, and then all of a sudden loads of people could do it. So it's this knowing it's possible, and meeting Herman on Saturday and him telling me that, and then discovering that he's actually doing it already. It's like, doesn't need to be a pipe dream. If somebody else is doing it, I can do it, and it's cool. Because the world's a big place. There are a lot of people, a lot of children who aren't fortunate enough to have access to good schooling. So
sounds good. And I notice a trend in your dreams now, Scott. You know, it's, you want to give back. You really want to give back. You see something's not right around the world. You want to make that change. I can see that you're trying to give back and make the change for not just your children, and children everywhere in your local community. Well done, Scott. I'm quite impressed. Very good. I've learned something today.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Hey, I suppose I've taken a lot of your time today, and I've asked all my questions, and I'm sure the listeners have really enjoyed your journey. You've captivated us from how you started, going through all the hurdles, all that difficulty, lava, and jumping over and get to where you are, and you're still pushing and moving. So well done, Scott. Thank you very much for your time. And any famous last words for the listeners before we zip away?
Keep breathing.
I like that. I like your style.
Thanks very much for your time.
Thanks
very much for your time, Alex. It's a big honor to be guest number 1 on your this amazing podcast. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be awesome. Well done. Good job.
Thank you. And hopefully I'll jump to the buff one day. That steel tub. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Promise I'll do it. If you don't do
it,
just do it. Just do it. Exactly.
Just do it.
I believe that. All right, Scott. Thank you very much. Yeah.
All right, man. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.